Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. We getting into Colin Kaepernick's stance. Now y'all watch this, right? I'm going to lay out the basis and the context of what this is all about. Coming from a perspective of an individual's right to be free. When in Rome, do what the Romans do, unless you're considered a slave. And the slave labor that became the foundation of America. We want to get into all of that today. And it's gonna trip you out. Believe me. Like Trump say, believe me. But nah, seriously though. Okay. Now one thing you gotta keep in mind. Colin Kaepernick's kneel down was a motivating force for others to kneel down. But everything has its course. Everything runs its course. So what you have to watch out now is, once the media and things starts to become in a frenzy and it starts to build up steam, they will always try to put someone in front of the movement where their agenda is to benefit, we'll say 1%, or we could say white supremacist agenda, but this thing is bigger than color though. You know, it's bigger than when you looking at skin color. Because when you start dealing with the rights of humans, then that goes under universal laws in which the Creator gave man. And man comes into power and manipulate them laws so one man can serve another man. That's when the problem takes place. That's when you start having problems. So now, matter of fact, you know what? We're not going to even look at, when I'm referencing Colin Kaepernick, I'm just simply talking about, this is a model. We're going to say this individual as a model, right? Okay. Now, this individual as a model could have had privy to the third verse of the Star Spangled Banner. And I've been into how it started off as a poem, 1814, 1931. They put it into a hymn. Judge Joe Brown talked about how that hymn was an old drinking song that they did in the pubs. And then they took that hymn and put the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, man, now you have the national anthem. Okay, now, check this out. Within that national anthem, in that third verse, it speaks upon no refuge for the hirelings and the slaves. Now, we're going to break that down. No refuge, meaning no place in America where anyone will give you refuge if you crowd to the hills, if you seeking for someone to protect you or come to your aid in America. He's saying in the Star Spangled Banner, third verse, nobody will give you aid or give you refuge. You would have to go to Canada, like so many blacks did. You would have to go to, Mexico, like John Horst black Indian that they will not talk about. They do not. You will get Nat Turner. You'll get Gabriel Prosser. You'll get and these are all great men. W.E. Du Bois, Booker T, Blyton. You'll get so many other figures within that time of slavery and the slave revolts and the slave rebellions. But you will not get John Horse. They won't talk about John Horse. But John Horse led one of the biggest slave revolts ever in this country, and they didn't flee. They didn't go to Canada. A lot of them went to Mexico. The second president Mexico had was Vicente Guerrero. Then you got Gaspar Yanga, which you'll learn about him on Hidden Colors. They got a statue up in Veracruz, Mexico, of Gaspar Yanga, and he fought the European Spaniards, in which gave Mexico their first free city. And that was done by a black man. You can check that out in Hidden Colors. And a shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to my boy Low Key. You know what I mean? Brother Marcus. Everybody that's out there studying, putting it down. Okay, but now we back on Star Spangled Banner, third verse. So, no refuge for the hirelings and the slaves. Why can't you give refuge to the hirelings and the slaves? Well, simply because the hirelings and the slaves will build a foundation of wealth for America in order for America to be the number one economic power and structure on the planet. They're saying, look, we're gonna out money Britain and get our independence, and we're gonna fight because look, we got all this free labor so we can finance a war and win the war. But we need this slave labor. This country was founded on two things: Constantine's brand of Christianity and slavery. And they work together. Believe me, they work together. That's why you got a liquor store church on every corner. But there's a counter. There's a counter to that, because you also have you'll see brothers out there with the final call countering what was set up. Because freedom and justice for all, that sets this planet on a balance, or it balances out this universe. It cannot be freedom for some, because the energy or the thought that travels into this universe that is dissatisfied will ultimately upset the balance of this planet. Especially when you try to enslave indigenous people who've been on the planet for thousands upon thousands of years. It's not going to work like that. So that's where this thing is at. So you have Colin Kaepernick created a wave of energy, some say of dissent, but it's not actually dissent. This is a cry. It's a cry out for justice to the universe. How does it say in the Bible? I heard all your cries gathered together, and I came down to see if your cries was true. And in that sense, the the religious scholars know which verse I'm talking about. He came down from heaven because he heard the cries of the people. They moaning, they groaning, they suffering. That's what this is right now. The people are suffering, so they're crying out. They ready and they do indeed won't change. So what the adverse of change, what they'll try to do is, okay, you got, okay. You all created a movement. You all have a valid point. But I can't grant you what you seek because I'm the 1% and I need to be on top and I don't share power with no one. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn this into a show. We're going to put some of our talking heads and people in front of it. We're going to put some of our Negroes, our what they would say, boule. We're going to put some of our boule Negroes on top of this thing. And we're going to spin it to where you'll be satisfied with an open apology because we're going to make the open apology so spiritual in a sense to where it'll make you feel warm all over. Then we'll back that up by a good Negro spiritual and you all will forget all about it and we'll put you back to sleep again. That's been a trick that's been used, man, since throughout time. Whenever you raise up and like, look, I am somebody and I know who I am and I demand my rights, in their mindset, what they're hearing is you actually saying, look, I want to live like the white man. I want money like the white man. And, or I want that desire, and that's what I visualize. So all they have to do is come to you with a good visual story, a good picture, a good image. They'll paint the picture, and you play it out. That's the game. So basically, you gotta be on your P's and Q's because when you set off on this thing and you actually saying, "Hey, look, I'm ready for my independence. I'm ready to be free. I've outgrown the slave narrative. I've outgrown the narrative of all black men or boys because now I'm learning information. We had 2 million man marches where knowledge was fed. Folk eyes are opening. The lion that was asleep in Judah, he's not asleep anymore. He looking around trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So y'all get ready. Be on the lookout. There's a lot of knowledge and a lot of things that's getting ready to take place within this presidential election. I don't know. They were saying that Donald Trump was purposely trying to throw the election so Hillary could get in. But Hillary might be purposely throwing the election to put Donald Trump in. And we're going to talk about that at a later date. About royal bloodlines and whatnot. But look here. This has been another episode of Verbal Pick Radio. I am Vince Cole Muhammad, a.k.a. Cole Black. You can check out the book Consequence by Vince Cole Muhammad. You can Google COLBLAC. Go purchase some of the tracks, old school tracks dating back to 1999 into the new millennium. Y'all stay up. We'll keep hitting y'all with a lot of topics just to make you think. We take a different angle at subjects. We like to go in depth to the thought pattern and the process and the outcome and the road that was paved that purposely to create, because you got some manufactured outcomes, then you got some outcomes that the creator created to move along the path. So you have to watch out for the matrix, the creative outcome where they use people like puppets and herd them like sheep. And we out.